Hello. Today we'll be playing Shelter. We'll be continuing with Rune's Route. So last time, Luke got to have a little class session with all the dogs from Rune's class, Rune's combat fighting class, and all the dogs raised their hands and asked Luke questions about Mana, how it operates, and why Mana exists. And then towards the end of the previous video, a Commodore bullies a little pug, and Teak fights the Commodore. The Commodore did put up a good challenge, but Teak ends up beating him, protecting the little pug. So, gonna go ahead and finish the mid-afternoon scene. He offers hands to the Commodore and helps him get up. Once he's up to Teak, Teak gives him a hug and they pat each other's backs. The tension in the crowd disperses as quickly as it appearing everyone is back being cute and stupid again. I have no clue what just happened. I have no clue what I just witnessed. I didn't even know Teak could fight like that. This made most of the weapons have blunted edges. You could have told me sooner. Still, why didn't you do anything? Even if the edge of the sharp could still kill. No, come on, it was just a little funny web housing. Just like when you stole that web of Teak's junk under the table just before Teak was all, grr, I'm gonna pick you up and ground me. Is that why you didn't help me? You thought you were playing? I mean, what, weren't you? You know he would never really hurt you, right? As the Commodore and most of the dogs walk away to do their own things, Teak picks up the great sword and walks towards the pug. He squats by the little guy and presents him the handle of the sword with a little smile. With a smile so sweet and caring that I start to wonder if it's still the same Teak. Both of them wag their tails and the pug eagerly grabs at the handle. When Teak lets go, the tip of the blade immediately drops to the floor. The little doggy clings to the handle for joy. Thank you, Teak. Of course, I got your back. And don't listen to him. No one can tell you what you can and cannot do. If you want to wield a great sword, I know you can do it. You are a Kana after all. Even the smallest of us can become great. Little Pug's huge eyes sparkling, his butt wiggles from unrestrained wagging. He nods and tries to raise the blade. But he obviously can't. As hard as he tries, he only scratches the floor. He then settles on simply dragging the sword behind him, no more false note than a heavy piece of junk. However, he stops in his tracks and looks back at Teak, who walks towards the nearly empty weapons rack, still wagging his tail. What are you going to use today, Teak? Good question. All the big weapons are taken. So I think I'll go with Gladius today. Oh, I'm sorry. No need to. It's a light but powerful weapon. Really? Yeah, simple, quick, straightforward, perfect for beginners, and seasoned fighters alike. You know, to be honest, with you, I don't really have good memories wielding it, but it's true that it kept me alive for years. It's important to be able to protect yourself with whatever you have in hand, be it your bare fist or wet, slippery walk. And this, my friend, is so much more than a walk. Teak performs a quick series of slashes and finishes with a thrust. He smiles, but there is a hint of easiness. He stares at the blade. The pug looks at Gigant's great sword, big and hard. Then he drags a heavy weapon towards Teak and raises the handle over his head to present it to him. Hey, Teak, would you like to swap? What, really? Oh, you sure? Yes, I don't want you to feel sad. What? I'm not sad. Don't worry about that. I want to want to wield glares as well as you. Like you said, even the smallest of us can turn great, same as the swords. Me, I'll come back to a great sword later. They both wag their tails and stains their weapons with wide smiles on their muscles. Now, that's so sweet. I almost forget how much a colossal asshole Cheek usually is to me. Not even usually, always. It's not like I need his approval or anything, but I can't help but feel a bit hurt when I see that he can be friendly with the others, but he simply won't be with me. Actually, that reminds me, I have something for Teague. Oh? I sent one of my partners a fist out of the little gem that boy gave me. Huh? What's this? I don't know. Teague apparently lost it back at the tavern earlier this morning. Here, take it. I passed the gem over the room. He fizzes it in his fingers, sniffs it, then licks it. Ultimately, he shakes his head. I have no clue. I never seen anything like that. Must be an ancient relic of some sort. Maybe a sad story. I will T. Come on, boy. He steers away slightly when he hears his name. With the sword in his hands, he jogs towards us. Yes, Chief. Look what Luke found. The wound shows the gem in his hand. He gasps. He frantically lifts between me and the wound. I smile at him in hopes that this little gesture will finally warm him up to me, even if just a little. Where did you find it? Well, he did. You dropped it in the morning by the old table. You let me know I requested. Here you go, mate. Take care of it now. Wound offers the gem to Teague on his open hand. But Teague doesn't take it. He stares at me. But not with gratitude, more like he's hurt. He looks away flushed and embarrassed. Actually, it's yours, Chief. Is it? Yes. It's a gift for you that I couldn't find this morning. Oh, I completely forgot about that. Oh, so this is for you, Chief. Well, thanks a lot, yes. I wanted to be the one to give it to you. She lets out a pathetic whine and starts backing away. He looks like a bit flustered puppy on the verge of tears. But I feel like I did something bad for trying to help. I hate Teague, buddy. It's okay. Look. Just give it to me now. Rune steps closer towards Teague and offers the gem in his open palm. After he looks as cheerful as ever, and his tail wags left and right. That's considerate of him. Teague grumbles and switches his gaze between Rune's hand and his face. Then he carefully takes the gem. As soon as he does, Rune jumps away and goes to pick up his sword that I dropped earlier. Teague sighs and walks towards the Chief. Rune helps at the blade and pretends to be busy cleaning it. Chief, This is for you, for watching over me. Whoa, this is amazing, Teague. You didn't have to. What is it? Did you buy it or find it? I found it in the Mel Temple. I don't know what it is, but, Teague looks down like he wants to say something, but he's too embarrassed. What's wrong, Teague? You know, Chief, you give so much to us. Still all your knowledge to protect us, and you don't ask for anything in return. If I could, I would repay you. I would give you anything you want and need the most. I know that you say that you have everything you need, but it doesn't feel right when I look at you, missing your hand and your eye. You act like you aren't bothered by that, but I am. And I was wondering if maybe you actually are too, but you don't just say that out loud. So when I saw this gem, I thought that maybe I should give it to you, you know? So even if it's just a pointless piece of jewelry in your pocket, you can have two eyes again. Rune stares at the gem speechless. It's been a long time since I last saw him so visibly deeply moved. I moved as well, and damn it, Teague's right. The gem toy looks like an eye. It's so obvious now. It's really a piece of ancient technology. What could possibly be its use? I need to know. Now I really want to inspect it with my vision. Teague, come here, you handsome little devil. I'm gonna come by Moses Rune draws his sword and jumps at T to give him a big, strong, manly embrace, soon followed by a big, strong, manly kiss right in his mouth. I see T tensing all up, and the gem rolls out his hand. It bounces over the metal floor and rolls a few meters away. I know I should be surprised, but I'm really not. After all, this is Rune we're talking about. I just enjoyed it so right at last. Maybe I should give him a gift too. I couldn't possibly get anything as thoughtful as Teach's eye gem, though. Finally, Rune breaks a kiss and looks around for the gem. While he jaws away to pick it up, Teach is still recovering from the experience. Chief, I like you a lot, but I didn't mean it that way. Oh, come on. It was just a friendly kiss. Don't think too much about it. Oh, okay? Unless, no, my heart's already taken. I know, I'm just messing with you. You can't show me so much love and then expect me not to give some back. Thank you, T. You are the kindest pup in the whole shelter. T's tail finally starts wagging. The big dog scratches the back of his head in embarrassment, but he's clearly happy. Okay, boys, let's get to the train now, shall we? You're the only one left without a weapon, Luke. I'll be waiting for you with that big pull out there, okay? And they both leave. Well then, walk towards the racks and crates with weapons. At least there used to be weapons. Now it's pretty much empty after the dogs already had their pick. I only see a lonely black baton laying around unwanted. It's one of those weird ancient ones. I can see an empty hole at the side of the handle where a mile cord should be plugged in. I kind of consider myself a pacifist, so the idea of playing around with a blunt weapon sounds fine with me. Very safe option for a fun playtime with Rune. Maybe I should just grab it and go. He's a master of blunt weapons too, so I'm sure he'd have fun teaching me about it. But then my ass casts a glance of a cold steel behind the crate, suddenly drop a perfectly good machete. I take it in my right hand and weigh it in my hand. It handles really well. I see that the edge has been purposely blunted down, but the weapon as a whole is perfectly balanced. I see signs of recent work at the pommel. Does Rune personally maintain the gear for his students? That's so responsible of him. I already warmed up to the idea of the baton, but I know that Rune usually sticks to blade weapons. Maybe I still go with Machete after all, so he can teach me those techniques. Which one should I choose? Ugh, choices. You're wasting time. Huh? You heard what I said. Alan stands with his back against one of the nearby training poles. Staring at me, he has that hard-to-judge, inquisitive look in his eye. Come to think of it, I've heard that the dogs sometimes spot him observing when he's training. I'm surprised to actually meet him here, though, now. And a bit hurt when I mull over the meaning behind his words. What do you mean? That there's no point in me trying to train in weapons with Rune? It's supposed to be a hangout, not wasting time by having fun with my friend. What? No, that's not what I said at all. You're wasting time by standing here like a dummy staring at your druggist at actually training. What are you still doing here? Grab your gear and go train. Oh, right. Well, I was surprised. His words actually make me happy ever since I decided to come here this afternoon. I wasn't completely convinced if that was the right decision. Sure, get to hang out with Rune, and I'm doing it mostly for him, but I felt that the actual training part was pointless in my case. It's encouraging to hear Alan rushing me to go out there and get stronger with everyone. Sure, I'm going. I just need to decide which weapon to choose. I stick out a big, clunky knife, huh? Which one do you think I should take? You're probably gonna tell me to take the machete, but I kinda like the baton too. It swings well and it has that satisfying impact. Do you want my honest professional opinion? Yes, please. Dual wielding. Reverse grip on both. Huh? Really? Grab both of the weapons in reverse like you suggest and give it a try. To be honest, it feels awkward. When I try to swing, my moves are restricted. I don't know. Dual wielding with a reverse grip sounds and looks cool, but is it actually effective? I feel like it would work better with a simple grip, especially for a beginner. Feels natural to me and my knives. I go ask Rune. I grab both of the weapons and start walking away. I know I was the one who asked Alan for his advice, but I'm not entirely convinced. Hey, be careful. He's unhinged. What? Who? Look, it's true that you finally decided to get strong, but don't do yourself that you could win against any of them in a fair fight as you are right now. Worst comes to worst. Bail out. Don't challenge him. I look at the dogs, trying to figure out which one he's talking about. There are at least a few that could come to mind. The Great Dane is kind of scary, and of course Teague and the Commodore. I know I'll be careful to not anger any of them. I've always seen how destructive their fights are. I will stick to Rune for safety. I turn back to reassure Alan about that, but he isn't anywhere to be seen anymore. Typical of him. Holding both the weapons by my chest, I walk across the field between the training posts and excited dogs. Some of them have already begun swinging the weapons and whacking the dummies. From the loud sounds and the light trembling on the floor, I can tell that some of the canines held overwhelming strength. I tried to pass by without taking anyone's attention. I finally managed to find Rune. He explained something to Seba with great excitement, whispering and gesticulating a lot. The other dog only nods. Once they noticed me coming, they jumped in shock, like they were caught doing something they shouldn't. Rune shoos the other dog away, and when I finally reach him, it's only me and the hussy left. Hey, Luke. What were you two talking about? Nothing, just like, I don't know, love of ice or something? Or something. Doesn't matter. But look at you, mate. You chose your weapons well. Yeah, those were the only two left. Dual wielding and machete and a baton, huh? I love it. This is a real combo. Gotta be fun. Really? I thought you'd choose only one of them for me. Nah, mate. If you want to use two, we'll use two. I'm already getting some ideas how to use them. Gotta base your stance on some calisthenics techniques and reverse gripping both. Sure, if you want to handicap yourself too, like zero defensive options. You already have the training pose, but if you want to be my personal dummy, I'll be happy to pound you all day long. Yeah, it doesn't feel comfortable trying to swing anything that way. The reach is, like, I don't know. I know, right? Don't get me wrong, it's a viable option for short blades, even with medium to long ones. You need to be flexible and use whatever fits the moment. But that shouldn't be your default. But hey, you can like hold a blade in your dominant hand the correct way, but baton in reverse for offense in one hand and defense in the other, like this. Who takes a wide, slightly crouched stance. Despite his missing right hand, he makes it really clear to me, and it looks cool. I immediately attempt to copy him. Legs wider, bend your knees, that's it. Sword a bit further away, like this. Oh man, this is exciting. I wish I had both of my hands just so I could dual wield against you in sparring too. It was never my preferred style for an assault combat, but it sure is fun. Chief, are you going to train or not? No, I ain't coming. Hold that thought, Luke. We're going to have a bit of a lecture with the other guys first, and then we'll spar, okay? Okay. When Rune makes a howl, all the other dogs start chatting between each other and switch all their focus to their chief. The weapons fighting lesson finally starts for good. I start walking away from Rune to join the other students, but he grabs my sword and asks me to stay with him because he needs a partner. The other dogs are split into pairs too. Little did I know what kind of a terrifying experience that would be. Instead of using a training dummy, Rune showcased a bunch of sword swinging techniques for his class on me. He actually swings his razor sharp ancient relic sword all around my body. Of course, he's careful not to hurt me, but I still can't help but feel weak in my knees every time I see his muscles ripple under his fur whenever he swings the blade with full strength. On the heart mere millimeters away from me and give me a gentle bap with a flat side instead. My heart can barely take it. After each move, he teaches the correct form of defense against it, and that's where I'm more actively involved. I do my best to mimic his strikes and his effortlessly deflects them. His students repeat the moves after him, in their own pairs over and over. Rune walks around the field and gives corrections and praises each student. I notice that Teak trains along against a pole. There are 15 of us, and he doesn't have a pair, huh? He shouts against that pole, though. Rune has nothing but praise for him. Everything repeats with a few more techniques for Rune, each rising in difficulty intensifying to the point that I couldn't even attempt to mimic them anymore. I'm not embarrassed though. I'm not the only one who fails at the quadruple slash with a backflip pirouette against fast flying enemies. She almost gets it right. Okay, boys, that's enough new moves for today. Wonderful job, everyone. Keep those techniques close to your heart. The field's outside on uncharted territory. You have to be prepared for every wildest possibility. Keep both yourself and your mates out of harm's way. I know you can do it. You're just too cute to die. The dogs wag their tails and look proud of themselves. Positive reinforcement works with those big adorable boots too, huh? How about we finish earlier and longer than usual freeform sparring session? Want some alone time with my good mate here. Have fun. Give me a woo if you need me. The class disperses and covers a wider area to give each other more space. Then they immediately start whacking each other. It's even louder and livelier than our tavern's rush hours. Finally, we can play. You alright there, mate? Yeah, just a bit hot from all the swinging we've already done. But you can still play, right? You aren't tired, are you, Luke? Yeah, no worries. We can play. Rune bounces exhilarated. I know he's been waiting for it for a long time, so I can't support him now. Even if I'm not an actual challenge to him, I'm still going to give it my best and make it fun for him. Come on, you musky husky. Bring it on. Rune grins and takes a stance. He's waiting for me to make the first move. I see that he left his lower side open, so I take a swift step towards him and strike there with my machete. A quick turn, Rune avoids my weapon, and then front rolls behind me. I follow him with my eyes and see that he readies his sword to slash at my sentence. He slowly telegraphs his intentions clearly, so I have just enough time to block the incoming slash with my baton. Rune makes an exasperated groan, but his tail wags non-stop. Yeah, I'll get you next time, human. Think again. I'll charge that still low crouch, Rune, and swing my machete as fast as I can in a series of thrusts and slashes aimed at different parts of his body. Rune blocks each of them, and he's acting like he can barely take those blows, but he obviously holding back. Finally, he deflects my blade with more force, making me wobble back a step, which gives him just enough time to roll backwards and recover to a standing position. With a not so intimidating shout, he charges at me, readying up and a downward slash from over his shoulder, instinctively ready both of my weapons to block it. Rune bashes his sword right against my gear with so much strength that he almost makes me bend my knees. Then he follows up with a strike in my side, which I managed to block with my machete. But I'm embarrassed to notice that Rune had to change the course of his slash to avoid my fingers. Then he steps back and immediately leaps at me, leading a forward thrust. I react as quickly as I possibly can, smash his blade downwards and charge at him. He's now full exposed, so fast. Rune doesn't even try to dodge, and he simply lets me press my baton against his chest. He tries to keep up his soft face, but he can't hold the act for long. So he smiles ear to ear again. He's absolutely thrilled. This is actually incredibly fun. Despite his overwhelming strength, Rune is very gentle when playing with the other dogs. He doesn't have that urge to dominate like some other canines. He simply wants to have fun. He's a great playmate. That's it. That's how you do it, mate. Good job. Thanks for going easy on me. Thank you too. But you don't need to go easy on me, mate. You gave me like 70 openings at your vitals and this sort of things. Do you try to give me a choice paralysis? No, I wasn't. Show me how to do it right, Rune. I want to be able to do better than just wave my weapons blindly. Of course, that's what I'm here for. I'll get you up to speed in no time. But only if you promise to really go at me with everything you got. Don't worry about my safety. I can take you. It's heartwarming to watch Rune so enthusiastic about this. He generally has a excitable personality, but this is even more than his usual. You can tell he has a deep, genuine passion for fighting, even just for the fact that he hasn't made a single sex joke ever since we started our sparring. That's proof that he puts all his heart into it. It's only fair that I do too. I promise. I fight like it's a real battle. Rune's tail goes to overdrive and he starts showing me all the ways I have to improve my stance. The way I perform blocks and attacks. He is a wonderful teacher and he makes me feel like I improve with each try. The second time we spar, he arranges multiple situations for me to test his hints in practice. At one point, the mistake slips out of my hand, but Rune doesn't give me the opportunity to pick it up. As if to test me, he continues his assault, and I guard, then comes slashes with my baton long. Finally, he gives me an opening at his midsection, and I leap in to jab. The blunt tip of my baton hits his fluffy, rock-hard abs. Rune laughs. Doing very good, mate. You didn't panic. You kept your cool, improvised, and seized the opportunity as soon as it rose. Wonderful. That's the look I know. You usually act like a soft jelly, but when put under pressure, you're like a razor-sharp blade. I love that about you. This is so much fun. I should have joined you sooner. Thank you, Rune. Told you were missing out, mate. But don't worry. We have a lot of time to catch up. We will play so much today. You won't even have the strength to walk. But that's fine. I can take you all the way to the bars of my arms. He gives me one of his beautiful, bright smiles. It's impossible to not share the same enthusiasm. Let's have as much fun as we can today, then. Yes, absolutely. Nothing but fun times today. Chief Rune. Huh? What's up? Come help, please. Mama swallowed my mace. What? I look around the field and notice a lonely Malamute sitting on the floor and crying. Did he actually? Damn it, Mammoth. Not again. Sorry, Luke. I'm emergency. I'll be right back. Want to take a walk and rest, or do you want me to get you someone else to train with? In that case, Teague, come here, boy. Huh? Yes, Chief. Keep Luke company until I'm back, okay? Spar him. Make it fun. Rune pats Teague on his shoulder and runs off with the Afghan hound, leaving the two of us alone. In that case, Teague, come here, boy. Huh? Yes, Chief. Keep a little confidence on him back, okay? Spar with him, make it fun. Rune pats Teak on the shoulder and runs off with the African hound, leaving the two of us alone. It takes me a moment to realize what just happened. Teak seems to be just as surprised. He won't even look at me. He just watched Rune run it off. Then his eyes linger at the sword in his hand. He just looks at it without a word, and there's something unsettling in that stare. I can see his breathing growing unsteady. I really don't like it. I carefully start to take a step back. What are you waiting for, human? You're the chief. Teak squeezes the handle of his great sword, so hard that all the muscles in his arms and chest bulge out. He bares his teeth, and I can hear a deep growl in his throat. Let's make it fun. I feel my whole body trembling in a fight or flight panic. I really don't want to be here right now. It's scary to face Teak one-on-one in a fight like this. There's no way he would hurt me here, right behind Rune's back, right? Maybe this is exactly the kind of bonding experience we need to break the ice. Yeah, let's. But can you, go easy on me? I haven't done any fighting in a very long time. Teak takes a deep breath and raises his sword in front of him. He doesn't do anything but just stands like that and stares me down. He won't take his eyes off of me. Is he waiting for me to make the first move? Okay then, Teak. Here I go. I take the stance Rune taught me and look over Teak, searching for a way to get to him. It's hard though. The length of his weapon gives him an unfair advantage. If I want to land it here, I won't be able to do that without a successful dodge or a parry of at least one of his own strikes first. There's no point waiting any longer. I have to do something, and still some chaos looking for opportunities once his stance is broken and improvised. I toss and swing my machete with an upward strike at the tip of Teak's greatsword, holds to create an opening at his lower torso. But still doesn't clasp. Instead, Teak twists his blade in a quick sword arc and hits mine from below, exposing me. I instantly move to guard my mid-sets with a baton. But before I can react, the next thing I notice is Teak's blunted sword edge brushing by my cheek in a quick thrust. He rests his steel on my shoulder. It's so heavy. You're dead. Yeah, point for you. I try to laugh it off while I take a few steps back and let the sword slide off my shoulder. It's concerning though. I can't read Teak's moves at all. Rune made it seem so fun and easy, like I was constantly improving, but it's not going to be the case with Teak. He's making it clear he's not going to go easy on me. We both take our stance again. I take a few moments to circle around and investigate him, looking for any breaks in his guard. There's nothing though. Whenever I make a step, so does he. His footwork and stance don't have any flaws I can notice. I'm starting to grow annoyed by my lack of options. I realize I won't have a chance at doing anything unless I manage to surprise him. In that case, I twist my baton to grab it at a straight grip and charge at him with a swing of my machete. I manage to notice him twisting his blade again for another counter attack. But then I swing and toss my baton right at his face. It makes my heart jump to see that he starts moving one of his hands away from the handle of the sword to cover his face. And at once I seize the opportunity to take a step forward by the side of his blade, ready myself to thrust my machete at his exposed side. But then I can feel something hit my ribs and my whole body falls down to the floor. The next thing I see are Teak's bare clawed feet. He thrusts his blade into the metal floor just an inch beside my head. Dead again. Confused to look back and see my baton rolling off on the floor. Did he catch it and toss it back at my feet? Were you the one who said that throwing your weapon away in combat is a bad idea, human? Get up. That's so frustrating. I thought I had an actual chance at getting that one little success. I ran back on my feet and walked towards my baton. Next time I'll get him for sure. However, when I bent down and picked the weapon off the floor, I could see Sal tilting at the edge of my vision, and the massive edge of the sword falling on my exposed side. What the? By pure instinct, I twist and parry with both of my weapons, taking in a full impact of his blow over my midsection. The first 100 strike lifts me off my feet, and the next moment I fall on the floor a few meters away, sliding over the smooth metal surface. I still desperately clutch my weapons, but my wrists and my midsection ache. I hiss when I clumsily sail back on my feet again. Come on, you can't be that weak. Sal, you took me by surprise. You think your enemy will care whether you're ready or not? Stop whining and come at me already. Then why are you like this? This is supposed to be a sparring session. This is supposed to be a sparring, not a serious fight. Not serious? You're among canines. So fight like one. T takes a step back, changes his stance, and charges at me with a wide downward slash. I jump to the side to avoid the sword and watch as sparks spray off the shelter's surface from the impact. I feel cold in my stomach when I imagine myself struck by that. I swing my weapon at T's body, but he deflects both of them with a swift backstab in a defensive manner of an defensive maneuver of his blade. Quickly followed with a straight thrust that I try to avoid by jumping backwards. The distance I cover with my jump is enough to escape the combined length of the blade and T's outstretched arm. He starts his arm once upon the tip of the sword rests at my chest. Then after a moment of pause, he growls and roughly pushes it to its full length, making me stumble back and almost fall. Before I can fully regain my balance, he charges at me with a series of right thrusts and slashes that, as far as I try, I cannot react to fast enough. He obviously restrains himself to stop the swings before he can cause serious damage, but he still slips in those painful pokes, bats and subs whenever I lose my balance or focus. But there is still some fight left in me. I take the hits, but also observe T's technique, trying to work out patterns or flaws in his movements. At this moment, the rest of the world doesn't exist to me, and I'm single-mindedly focused on T. Just me and him, dancing over the metal floor. Finally, I see opportunity, an instant of hesitation on T's side after I duck one of his side slashes. I swing my machete at his fingers, and he jerks away, taken by surprise. Immediately, another swing of the great sword follows. This time, I manage to dodge it when I jump to the side. I brace myself to spring back at him with a counterattack. My boot slips over a chunk of snow, and my knee hits the floor. I don't even have enough time to properly register what happened before a bare sole of T's foot bats at my chest, and I fly off a few meters again before my back lands on a pile of soft snow. I cough and try to regain my breath after impact while looking around, disoriented. How far away did we distance ourselves from the rest of the class? I can't see behind the tall pile of snow. Hearing the dull sound of teeth stepping over the white carpet, I nervously look around for my machete. It isn't in my hand anymore. Get up. Did he lead me here on purpose? I forget about the machete rise on my trembling legs to face the big angry door with my baton alone. I stare at him with fear, and he stares me down too. I'm trying to figure out my options, but I know that the strength distance between us is too great. I've always known that in the current experience, it's a hard reminder of everything I'm lacking. I can't be a dog in a fair fight. I can't protect myself against Teague. I don't know I want to spar with him. I don't think I want to spar anymore. Teague doesn't do anything but just stares at me. Only the sounds of wind in the distant clashing still waiting in the air. It's hard for me to judge his expression. What do you think you're even doing here? You know you don't belong here, huh? You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you choose to stay here among the people you have nothing in common with. Why won't you just leave? Teague's words take me aback. Now that we're alone together for the first time, he's starting to voice out what his problem is with me. It stings. Seriously, Teague, what are you on about? I don't know. I know you don't actually like me, but... Oh, you know us? Yes, I know us. Good. If you can read the room after all, You can also see how people get uncomfortable around you. Does that bother you? You can't be that brazen, right? It's only those who don't know me. Those who do know that I'm not that different from them. You've seen during the class how the guys warmed up to me. Rune, Barry, and Matt are my friends, and don't lie to me. I see all through you, human. They aren't friends to you. You're using them. What? Our kind is honorable and loyal. We will fight and die to protect our pet mates. But for people like you, for those who aren't us and don't live by those values, that's just naivety to take advantage of. You use our most precious principles to make us do your bidding. I've seen it time and again. You aren't anyone's friend here. You manipulate them for protection because you yourself are weak. Well, you're not going to fool me. I'm not going to bleed and lose a limb for you like the chief did. Nobody will, no more. Not for the likes of you. You are not one of us. You're wrong. I'm here because it's my home. Me and all the other people living here make one pack. I'm not using anyone. I give it all myself for the pack, just like everyone else. If you just for a moment ignore the fact that I'm not a dog, you see that that's true. You say that, but how do you expect me to take you seriously? If even right now in this battle you aren't giving it your all, even right now in this battle you aren't giving it your all at all. I have no patience for empty words. Either sub, walk away, or prove me right. Or start screwing around and come at me with everything you got, human. He stands with his sword resting over his shoulders and glares at me. I'm scared of him. Despite listening to him venting out, I still don't understand what's exactly going on in his head. He looks like he's struggling to keep his cool. Now he led us away from the group. He can speak his mind freely. And if his goal is to intimidate me, he's doing a good job. However, if that's the case, why is he yelling? Why is he telling me to put up a bear fight? It's almost like he actually wants to have a proper duel with me. Come at me with everything you got, huh? He has to be talking about my mind vision. That's not much, but he's right that would put me at my possible best. Should I, though, improve perception for a very limited time? Is it going to put me anywhere near the even ground with teeth? Both my body and spirit are starting to reach their limits, while teeth's barely breaking a sweat. Is there any point in me struggling against inevitable defeat? I take a deep breath and focus. Teach glares at me. To my surprise, he takes a couple steps in my direction and kisses snow on my face. I instinctively guard with my arms. It is only at the last moment that I notice a glint of some kind of metal object approaching. I whack it with my baton. In my machete, Teeth found and passed it to me. Are you sure you want to do this? We sat and picked over the blade off the snow. Now I have both of them in my hands again, but I wonder how much of a difference they're going to be. So I have to try. You want me to give it my all, so I will. Let's put something on the line, then. You like bets, don't you? You fight to the next clean hit and the opponent's torso. If you win, I'll owe you one favor. If I win, you'll be gone from shelter by the time I come back for the next excavation. What? Don't get me wrong, I don't trust someone like you to keep their word. But you can trust mine. If you don't hold your end of the bet, I'll make sure you meet a fate worse than that. So, human, what do you say? So, changing my mind is the right decision to make, but I'm going to fight just so I can so I can see what happens in the end. But changing your mind is the right decision. We should change our mind, but just for the sake of see what happens, we're gonna fight. Just one clean hair his torso. With a bit of luck, there's probably a chance for me to achieve at least that much. This is a promise. We both take our chances and meet and eye each other. I take in and investigate T's form of monovision. It reminds me of all times I had to defend from the monsters in the past. Call me human. No. This time you come at me. My ass starts to sting in this cold air. I don't dare to even blink. I can't miss it. I can't miss anything. I observe as he lights across Teach's chest and throat. First hold, and then swirl in chaos before they finally settle for a more stable pattern. And then, an instant after his lungs brighten, he growls. An instant as his legs brighten, he dashes at me with his weapon held high. An instant after he leans back, prepared for a slash at my right side. His whole right leg and midsection on the opposite side burn bright. No, you won't. What's right at Teach's left side, where he tries to trick me into believing the slash was going to come from. I can barely make out the contours of his soft face when he stumbles in the middle of his maneuver, and I attempt to jab at his exposed side. But I'm too slow. He jumps to the side, what covers the distance between us. I see his whole body lighting up and sparkles like a bright night sky. You knew. You tried to do a fake out strike me from the other side, right? Then yeah, I saw through that. He growls, the anger and irritation rising in his voice. I think he must finally feel threatened for the first time by a power he doesn't understand. He steps in and approaches with less recklessness, with more controlled thrusts and slashes. He tests and observes me by keeping careful distance. In my own relentless observation, I manage to parry and avoid all the slashes, although barely at times. I'm only insignificantly less at a disadvantage than I was before. It's true that my vision helps me predict his answers, but seeing and knowing isn't going to be enough to secure victory. I'm still too slow to outmaneuver Teach's defenses. My time is limited. Either my spirit is going to give up first, or my body. I have to think of something to steal victory before that happens. You think you see through me, really? No, you don't. You know nothing about me. But I know everything about the likes of you. Have you met other humans? Shut up. What does it matter? Lions, rats, dragons, you are all the same. We dance over the snow-covered surface where our weapons clashing. No matter how much I observe and wait for the right opportunity to strike, I see nothing. This difference in strength and skills isn't something I can breach with just my eyes, yet it gives me just enough insight to avoid incoming slashes. For as much as I certainly admire my foe, I find it beautiful in a strange way how exceptionally easy it is for me to read his intentions with my vision. There is that naive, honorable honesty to his movements. Even when he tries to deceive me with his body, his spirit breaks clearly. I have been waiting all my life for this, a true home. Nobody can find me and take me away anymore. I can finally put behind all the terrible things I've done to my own kin. Except, you don't let me. Every time I look at you among us, you make me remember. Why are you doing this to me? What did they make you do? Things you shouldn't do to your own people. Hurt for no good reason. And the worst part is, eventually I grew strong, and it started to feel good. Even here, I still have all that anger brewing inside me. What am I supposed to do with it? One of my boots stuck in the snow, and that gives Teeth the opportunity to swing his blade wide at my back, raising a sparkling cloud of snow around us. I can clearly see that he prepares to fall over for a kick, but I can't make a clean block against him. I twist my body to block the high impact of the sword with both of my weapons. I take Teeth's foot at my left shoulder. I stumble and use my Mercedes as a support stick, pouring all my effort into keeping myself on my feet. I can't afford to fall. My left shoulder aches, though. I'm worried if it's going to worsen my use of the baton. It isn't strained, right? I probably wouldn't be able to keep it lifted if it was. A bunch of those parent thoughts buzz in my mind as I watch Teak recovering from the kick and about to continue his assault. The battle grows more intense with each passing moment where I feel myself approaching my limits and my heart is dwindling. I know what I want to do. I'm going to heal here and learn what it means to be a true canine with all the others. I'll put my life on the line, on the front lines, and recover all those treasures hidden under the snow for the good of everyone here. I'll make shelter a place where no canine can ever be hurt again. But what about you? What do you want to do? Do you really want me to believe that you want to stay here with no further aspirations? Why are you scheming, human? What's your end goal? With everything I learned about Teach's habits, I will take full advantage of my magic in the last one desperate maneuver. I take a deep breath once towards the hulking, angry mass of light. The path to victory is hidden within them. I wave my baton as if to bash at the snow again, and I can see Teach reacting to that. He wants to use that opening to slash at me from above. But instead of striking the snow, I twist on my ankle, turn around, and bash the ball of the flying greatsword with both of my weapons, pouring out all my strength on my hurt entire body. I see the anger flaring in his growing throat as Teak realizes that that's the same movement he attempted just a few moments ago, now turned against him. An overwhelming pain shoots through my shoulder, and the baton slips out of my fingers. The tip of my opponent's weapon dies in the snow after busting the tip of my blood and my hood. Now's my chance. No, just a little longer. My vision blurs and the world around me spins. I feel like I'm about to fall. I feel a painful impact on my stomach and barely make out the form of Teach's fist. I start the weapons from my hands and I fall on my knees to spill out the contents of my stomach over the white snow. It's over. I lost. Remember, you promised. I coughed and wheezed, trying to regain my breath. I don't think he broke any of my ribs, but the punch was painful. I need time to recover. I have to speak up, though, because there's something very obvious that Teak is missing in his reasoning. Teak, see how that can't work without me. Huh, are you serious trying to weasel out your promise already? If I'm not around to read the relics for you, there will be no shelter. You and all the other canines will lose everything you have here now. Yes. That's the one thing you've been telling everyone to secure your immunity here. I wonder if that's honestly how high you think yourself. Or are you clinging to that so hard only because you know that otherwise you wouldn't be needed anymore? You'll find a way. You don't need to worry about that. After all, it's not you specifically that we need, or your power. Teach sniffs the air like if searching for something. He raises one of his hands and wafts the air towards him, like he's basking some kind of a scent. Every time someone suffers damage in battle, they release matter into the air, and I was the only one who was hurt in ours. I don't remember the scent. There must be other sources of it out there, and I won't rest until I find one among the wounds outside. Teak focuses and his body tenses, until finally he lets out a sigh. Even without any special senses, I can tell that he's just absorbed my mind. I have a bad feeling about this. Teak, no, please don't. He doesn't reply. He only smiles. His breathing deepens. His shoulders tremble. His grin grows wider.
That's how you feel all the time. How you see. Your senses, your thoughts. I understand so much now. There's so much. Oh, I like it. That's enough. Stay there. Just let it burn out slowly. Are you afraid? You should be. There's nothing you can hide from me anymore. No tricks up your sleeves. I won't see through. That's not enough. I can feel this great conceit and greed. The nature of your kind is calling out to me. A veil lies over my eyes. I can see it. I can almost see through it. Disperse it and let me truly see. Reveal the truth to me. I sit in fear as he clenches his fists and focuses so hard that his muscles bulge and a string of drool drips from his snoring mouth. He's attempting to activate mind vision on his very first experience with human mind. Stop it, you idiot! You're going to hurt yourself. Doesn't listen. I watch his tense face as his eyeballs fall, and he tries and tries and tries, until eventually I can't notice a faint glint. I can notice a faint glint of light in his eyes, and he stops. His muscles relax. Is this it? I see. I see. This is how the world really is. It's. Damn it. Teague, this is a lot. Fork. It's okay. Breathe in and breathe out. Calm down. Yeah. Stop it. Stop. Teague falls on his knees and covers his eyes with his hands. Then with his own forearms, with his shirt, he falls down and scoots the snow all over his face, and as he grows more distressed and he groans in pain. He cannot block whatever mind vision reveals to him right now. It has to be deactivated, but Teague doesn't know how. I try to calm him down, but he's too overwhelmed to hear or notice anything. I don't know what to do. But at the moment he starts clawing all over his face, I jump to him and, knowing my own safety, put all my strength into keeping him still. Rune, help! Yell at the top of your lungs, and a moment later get out shouted by Teague, openly crying out at the top of his. As hard as I try, I can't keep his hands off his face for long. Soon his claws dig into the fiery skin near his eyes suck so deep that I can see blood and tears rolling down his cheeks. But before I can even hear any steps, Rune is over Teague away, and he pulls his hands apart. It takes about half a minute more of Teague thrashing and crying until finally my mind and his body burns out and he falls unconscious. After a reckless use of alien mana like that, both his body and mind are completely exhausted, I'm confident that he's going to be fine after a short rest. That was scary. I thought I saw him going at his eyes wildly, but I want to believe it's not that bad. Teague's colors drag him away back inside shelter. All we can do now is let him rest. I'm sure he'll be back on his feet for skies ablaze. Now it's just me and Rune left in the train grounds. Only the dark stains in the snow remain after those terrible events. What happened? Oh boy. In short, we had a duel and he tried to use my mana all the way to mana vision. Whoa, that's not good. I know. A new mana type, you can't just skip straight to its racial ability. You have to do that gradually. But yeah, thanks for helping us. Where's the Malamute? Oh, Mammoth? All good. That crisis was averted too. Sorry, man, I got a bit distracted after that, and kind of forgot about you and Teague. How was the duel? Did you win? Was the Mana thing a part of your master plan? No, he completely whooped my ass. The Mana thing happened after he won. Rune nods and I grumble, remembering the whole point of the duel, the bet. I lost, so that seems. Yeah, I should tell Rune. Should I tell anyone at all, or better keep it to myself? Maybe it's going to be better for me to wait and have a one-on-one talk with Teague first. I'm tired. I can see that you barely stand on your feet. Go sit down, Wes. I'll clean up here and be right with you, okay? I nod and step away, looking for a place to sit down. With everything I've learned about Teach's habits, I will take full advantage of my magic in the last one desperate maneuver. I take a deep breath and run towards the hulking, angry mass of light. The path to victory is hidden within them. I wave my batons at the bass and the snow again. I can see Teach reacting to that. He wants to use that opening to slash at me from above. But instead of striking the snow, I twist my angle, turn around and bash a bomb on the flying greatsword with both of my weapons, pulling out all the strength of my hurt entire body. I see the anger flaring in his growling throat as he realizes that that's the same move he attempted just a few moments ago, now turning against him. An overwhelming pain shoots through my soul and the baton slips out of my fingers. The tip of my opponent's weapon dies in the snow after brushing the tip of my hood. Now's my chance. I step on the flat side of Teach's sword, interrupting his recovery. A hint of panic shoots out and thin sparkles from his chest to the tips of his limbs. Right when he's about to pull the sword from under my foot, I leap forward and take another step over his weapon. I jump at him and swing my machete right at his exposed chest. He can neither dodge nor raise his weapon in time. I got him. Finally, my weapon doesn't bounce against hard metal, but makes a dull sound against something softer. But that's not his chest. My feet still off the ground, I watch in despair with my blunt machete legs and Teach's clenched bloody fists. His eyes stare at me with unbridled fury. Before my boots even meet the snow below, he swings his arm and peels the weapon off his hand. I jump back to avoid incoming strikes, but my body doesn't want to listen to me anymore. I fall in the snow, feeling sick and exhausted. My machete falls as Teach drops it at his feet. The dog stands and stares at his bloody hand. The training weapons have blunted edges, so it was still quite an impact to take on his bare hand. I can see the snow below painted in dark red dots of his dripping blood. Who would have thought you had it in you? Is this it? Is there nothing else I can do? I'm completely drained of my usable reserves of mind. I feel absolutely awful. All my muscles burn, my vision blurs, and I feel the contents of my stomach rising in my throat. The difference between us has always been too great, but even your best isn't enough. But I'm still conscious. The fight isn't over yet. I raise my hand and burn the charge of Teach's mana as soon as it flows into me out of the surrounding air. There's a bunch I can do. Nobody can inform Pat mentality with. But this mind still holds its basic power, the power of connecting with minds. As well as it is, that's the only action left for me. With my last effort, I stare at my approaching enemy and reach out towards him. Show me what my eyes can't see. I expect to feel pride and hatred. I brace myself to protect my will against the darkest feelings and emotions. However, at the moment when I connect, I'm grievous with none of that. I feel sad and disappointed, as if my hopes and expectations were just crushed. It takes me a while to finally notice the fear, and behind it, vast anger. It is there, brewing and boiling in my chest so fiercely that it's ready to burst at any moment. I can unleash it on him, but I won't. I won't intimidate, but I won't hurt. For every grain of anger within me, I will make up for a grain of kindness. I cannot lose this balance, but how long can I keep that up until I fail? How long have I been like this? Am I really going to stay like this forever? Yeah, how long? Tell me how long. My thoughts keep switching between the sword in my hand, the human light on the floor, and the two of our doors and necklace. The cheering of the crowd, the pain in my maw. Who would have thought he had it in him? So many sounds, such awful smells. The people around me, the body at my feet. He's crying. You lost your finger, little doggy? Does it hurt? Wait a moment. He takes the knife and crouches by the body. Stop it. Stop it. But the crowd cheers even louder. A tooth for a tooth, as they say. Consider your first prize. I hold the thing in my hands, and the crowd still cheers. They kept chanting over and over. They won't stop. My name. Please stop saying that name. Brutus. What? A sigh of clarity hits me, as if someone sent me out of a deep dream. Then realization follows with it, fear and panic. No, no, stop, don't. Get out of my head. The end. Desperation.
Well, sure, that was brutal. Yeah, I know, damn. He just kept going and going. I know, I was there. You don't need to get into the details. Then again, what do you expect? Not to be a duck. But I totally told you so. Yeah. But come on, I was this close to winning that duel. You were painful to look at. That's what you were. You must be aware that he was draining his strength throughout the whole fight. I was prepared to hold his blade in case he landed a hit. You were nowhere near winning. Nothing short of an ass pull could put you even remotely close to his level of skill and power, and you haven't earned your ass pull yet. Also, there was a way for me to win? Man, I wonder. In the end, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is that the way you are now, you can measure up neither to the strength of his body nor the one of his resolve. The might of his treasured backstory is too great. Yeah, probably more treasure than yours. It's not a competition. It's a cursed seal of one's soul, a double-edged sword and a suffocating, impenetrable armor. Even if by a miracle you would have snatched that winning strike, that wouldn't change much in the long run if you didn't find a key to crack that seal. But first and foremost, there's a question you have to ask yourself. Is he even worth it? Or would we be better off without him? A clever rogue avoids battles he cannot win. He cuts his losses and survives the fight another day, another battle. It would be smart to do the same. Give it some thought. I'll be waiting here to ask you that same question every time you choose the path of a hopeless battle. Until then, try to stay safe. By the way, if a tragic backstory was a competition, I'd totally win. Mine is like 10 times more tragic. I know. Just letting you know. So, yeah. Yeah, sure, bye. See you soon. So, these are all the to-do lists. You got to play one in the Bargains Corner. Don't think I'll be able to get to all of them. All of these over here. Seems like most of them, so I could know of them are like for wounds and Max's wounds. Might be able to cover some of them. Since we're still only in Rune's route, and since we haven't started Max's route yet. So now we're all the way completed Roy's route. So apparently we would not have been able to defeat Teak no matter what. Luke Perry thought that he almost beat Teak, but Alan said that he was nowhere near beating Teak, and that Teak was merely holding back. One thought came to my mind. Well, Wolf's supposed to be bigger because he was way smaller than Teak was. It's just a question to me. Well, Wolf's supposed to be bigger than all the dog breeds, or most of them anyway. I think West. Don't worry about me. Just go. Rune nods and dances away to help the poor Malamute. The big dog whines and cries, but he raises his head when Rune calls out to him. A little boy smiles and Rune bounces by him and makes some sort of a joke to alleviate the panic. Tears still roll down the Malamute's cheeks, but he calms down. The more I learn about Rune, the more I fall in love with his personality. He's a beautiful mix of opposites. He's selfless, reckless, loud, and childish, as well as thoughtful, kind, trusting, and a competent leader. Among all my friends, he is the one who changed the most throughout our years together. His skills with dogs and people remained, though. They just took a more empathetic form. However, it wasn't a change overnight. A lot had to be sacrificed for us to reach where we are now. Every time I look at wound scars and missing body parts, I'm reminded that it was worth it, right? If I look away when the Afghan hound jaws his Malamute friend's mouth wide open and Wound sticks his whole arm inside. Please don't lose your second hand too. While I sit and wait for Rune to come back, the other dogs are deep in their sparrings. The weapons class and the dogs let out exotic barks, clearly enjoying the exercise. I see a Boston Terrier clash with the pug. German Shepherd bounces back and forth playfully with the Golden Labrador. The tiny Border Collie explains something patiently to the Great Dane. The Shar-Pei and the Commodore growl as an axe and Warhammer bash with loud thuds. A D has a quiet duel against the Australian Shepherd.
Watching the whole group train in full swing reminds me of the time right after Rune settled here with the soldiers those few years ago. I didn't get to know most of them. They were just some nameless canine soldiers to me who were dedicated to their duty, ready to die for the pack if need be, just like Rune used to be. But Rune turned out to hold so much colorful personality inside him when it was given an opportunity to sprout. I wonder what kinds of other wonderful dogs did we lose before they were even able to take that same kind of opportunity. How many of these guys am I seeing for the last time before they set off for their next excavation journey, never to return? Now that I think about it, when did T find his sparring partner? Is someone missing? I was sure there was an odd number of us when we started. Before I delved deeper into that mystery, I noticed that the dogs close to the shelter's edge stopped their swinging and looked down at the fields below. Howls and barks can faintly be heard from the area near the shelter's main entrance on the ground floor. Then they quiet down, and I think I can faintly hear music. It's so hard to tell with the wind howling here. Oh boy, Matt started his performance already. I thought he wouldn't start until sunset. He must be as excited as we are. Don't get distracted, we are still in training. We'll never become successful as scavengers if we slack off here. I know. So the training's planned to finish at sunset, huh? But that means, oh no. Every single dog here is going to miss our master's performance. He started playing so early precisely because he's going to be away with us at the best at the sunset. I hope it's not going to be too big of a loss for them, because I'd rather not tell them about the bad situation around Teague. Let's keep our best effort here so we can enjoy the night with no regrets. Yeah, come twilight, I'm going to drop my weapon one there as fast as my legs can take me. This is going to be a quiet sight. You've been talking about that for months. You even had that Skies Ablaze killing bag. That was funny. A bag? Yep. I bought a bag filled with treats. One for every day before Skies Ablaze. So many trees I couldn't even count. But Sir Burry helped me. Do you know he can count over 20? Whoa. So every night before sleep, I took out one treat out of my bag and put it by my pillow. I ate it when I woke up and hummed my favorite song while dressing up. That bag was heavy with treats, but I was pacing, because I knew that the day I eat the last one would be the day I can finally celebrate with Master everyone again. Wouldn't miss it for anything in the world. I would rather eat my own tail and never wag again then. Just go away. Matt started his performance so early because he's going to be busy elsewhere after sunset. If you stay until the end of the training, you'll miss all of it. What? Is that true? Oh no. Chief. What is it this time? The gun retriever won to Rune, who was still with the Commodore and the Afghan. He starts explaining the situation loudly with a loud gesticulation. He looks like he's on the verge of tears. Did I tell you? We're having a private bad party with Matt, Burry, and Luke at the sunset. No, you didn't tell me. You didn't. Please, Chief, can I go now? I beg you. Well, it's okay. Calm down. Nobody's keeping you here. If you want to go, go. I'll see you next time. Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Can I go too? I want to hear at least one song as well. Me too. And me. Suddenly, Rune is surrounded by all the begging and apologetic dogs. They whine, and the shortest ones jump in place. They make quiet workers about that. Kikawa is among them. There he stares at me with surprise and irritation. His head puffed up in anger. He looks like he wants to say something to me. And then he doesn't. He just slams his sword at the floor and storms off without even asking Rune for permission. Honestly, that's not that bad. I kind of expected an even harsher reaction. Okay, everyone. The training session is over for the day. Go and have fun tonight. Drink, dance. Ooh. Yes, Chief. And keep in mind all the work you've put here, all the sweat and blood you spent to come where you are now. With great power comes a great irresistible body. So get laid tonight, you sexy couples. That's an order. Yes, Chief. The dogs run off towards the crates to put their swords, maces, and axes back where they took them from. That's cute. They're wagging their tails and all. I nod to Rune about Teek's sword and he picks it up. Together we finish cleaning up the place. I guess it's time for us to go too. Didn't you say you had a barrel of wine stashed somewhere? Oh, right, it's in that pile of snow over there. I'll go grab it and we can be on our way. Maybe we can meet up with Matt's on the ground floor. What idea? I want to see the crowds. Sorry, Chief, mate. Huh? What's up, mate? Aren't you, mate? We're getting something? The Australian shepherd makes a baleful weird face and looks between Rune and me. He's obviously trying to tell something, but it tries hard to be discreet. Someone, that's right. I can go if you need to speak in private. I'll see you inside. No, stay. Don't go. Thanks, mate. I totally forgot. If you see them. No worries, mate. I will. The sailor jogs away and eventually disappears down one of the ladders leading to the sailor's interior. I'm left here in the middle of the train grounds along with a sleeplessly acting Rune. What's going on? What? Why would there be anything going on? Oh, come on, you're being awfully suspicious. What, are you going to confess your love or something? Why would I have to do that? You already know I love you. You're my best friend. Well, yeah, I love you too. But then why? Hey, let's go sit down by the edge and watch the sunset together. How about that? He grabs my hand and leads me away towards the edge before I even have the chance to question him any further. He sits down and picks a spot next to him, urging me to do the same. I carefully sit down with my legs hanging roughly 60 meters over the snowy ground. It's hard for me to gauge the distance between its scary height. I remember one time when monsters attacked during one of the shelter's blackouts. Rune jumped with me off the edge to save us. It turned out that snow is a surprisingly good shock absorbent, but at that moment I was fully convinced I was going to spur and die. Hey, remember that time we both jumped and you pissed yourself? No. I took and raised my head to stare straight ahead instead, and the beautiful golden sunset was slowly reaching the end of the day. But things were always getting me out of the fray. I bumped his side with my elbow. He wagged his tail in response, and we both just sit and stare at the same sun in silence. It's nice to be able to do that from time to time. Nowadays, Rune is usually the trouble magnet, but sometimes in very rare moments like these, his expression mellows down over time, and I feel his old, serious reflection seeping through again. Hey, Rune, how many of them do you think will survive the next trip? Rune sighs. Only a few of them already, and even then, yeah, no. Dick is the strongest among them, but even he almost dragged his pack down on his first real trip. Each of them lacked something other than strength and discipline. But they are all eager, right? Yeah, they aren't going to stay here and wait forever. One day they will leave to try their luck, whether they're ready or not. Or whether they're actually made for this job or not. But then again, are any of us ever truly ready for anything? Do you feel ready when you came here? Hell no. I didn't even know what I was looking for. Exactly, but still, you found the greatest treasure in the whole wide world. You still live to share it with us. Sometimes you need to listen to your gut and have faith in yourself against the odds of common sense, right? That's why I will still continue to train them, even those that frankly aren't built for fighting. Because it isn't up for me to decide, only they can. Even if my help may be ultimately pushing them to their deaths, the least I can do is believe in them. Show them that they can achieve great things. Just like you showed me that I can be something else than what other people built and expected me to be. That I can be free. Luke, thank you for saving me. I turn my hands and stare at him dumbfounded while he just keeps watching the horizon with a gentle smile. It feels exactly like the conversation we used to have throughout the first weeks here. Well, this is so wrong. Ever since the first day he came here, he was our guardian. He fought for us and sacrificed so much for our freedom. I am the sole reason for every single scar on his body. Who notices me staying quiet? I realize I have been staring at his missing right hand, so I look up and I'm about to say something. But there, I see his missing right eye and all words stop in my throat. Saving, Rune. What a cruel joke. Oh, my hand, come on. Are you still drunk over that? Especially I don't miss it. After all, that was the hand I hurt you with on that day we met. I swear I will never get those words you had the guts to say. Those cruel, precious words. Wait, you don't remember, do you? I see. Well, the point is we all contribute what we can for this wonderful community. I'm not as smart as you or the other guys, but you aren't as strong as me just yet. So as long as I still have a limb to spare, I will be your sword to keep you safe, mate. Damn it, why does he have to put it like that? I don't want him to hurt himself or me anymore, but that's exactly how things are right now. Why am I the one who needs protected? I can't do the same for him. Is there really nothing else I can do for him? Damn, this is so frustrating. It hurts. Chief, there you are. Oh, Pan, finally. I've been waiting for you, huh? You see the Siba Inu from Rune's class approaching us, holding something long, wrapped in a dark red cloth. He hands it over to Rune, bows and runs away. That's right, there was one dog missing during the latter parts of the training earlier. Where was he? Holy crap, that's some fancy wrapping. I didn't pay for that. And that seal. I see. That's generous, handsome bastard. I would need to smooth him extra hard next time we meet. What is it? It looks pretty. Can I touch it? Sure you can, mate. It's yours. What? He puts a mysterious arm on my lap and I hold on to it tight so it won't fall off the edge. It's long as my arm and a little heavy. The deep burgundy wrapping cloth is softened to the touch and fastened by a thin decorative rope with a thick wet seal, keeping everything together. I glance at Rune and he wags his tail. Oh, here, open it. It's not a giant dildo, is it? Nope, but maybe next time. Rune helps me hold the item while I break the seal with both of my hands. A strong gust of wind steals away the rope and unveils the wrapping. Happy skies ablaze, Luke, revealing a beautifully engraved handle of a sword. I take it in my hand and Rune lets go of the wrapping, letting the cloth fly away with the wind. The last rays of the setting sun bathe over the mirror smooth flat and the single-edged blade, revealing tiny wounds near the handle. Four signs of an archaic, pictographic canine writing, a phrase forever rooted in their cultural identity. Weak alone, strong in a pack. I was so happy when I saw you coming to join us today, and I had a blast sparring with you, so, you know. On the next Skies Ablaze, maybe you can come play with us again. Test out your new weapon, you know. Hey, are you okay? Why won't you look at me? I stand up and walk away from Rune in a way so he can't see me right in my face. Next time, come on, Rune. Why wait? We sparred for a while longer, but eventually decided to start heading back. It was always getting hard for me to see, and my body hurt all over from all the workout injuries. I loved it though. Despite everything, I still enjoy our time together. I didn't expect to have that much fun at his training class. Rune looks like he's happy too. He bounces by my side as we step through the automatic door into the bath section. We're both tired and sweaty, but in high spirits. So that was a mid-afternoon scene for Rune. We got to train with Rune and Teak. Apparently there's no way Luke could beat Teak, no matter what. So, that part when it seems like we beaten Teak, but we didn't. We got to use the mind vision to see from Teak's perspective. And apparently, he was holding somebody's tooth in his paw, or his hand, yes. I guess it's what they call a hand. He was holding somebody's tooth in their hand, and everybody was chewing Teak on. And they're calling by his name, Brutus. I think that's Teak's real name. And Teak was very traumatized, you know. I think he beat somebody up, or he was forced into beating somebody up. That's my guess. And while he was fighting Luke, he said that he would never hurt anybody again. He would never hurt his own kind. So apparently, he did a lot of bad stuff towards other dogs because, early in the game we figured out that he has a bad history. He just had a bad temper. He was very violent, and he would fight often. He would fight other dogs very often, so he's probably ashamed of his violent self, and that he wants to atone for everything he did by protecting people and making sure he doesn't hurt anybody again, and that the dogs don't get hurt by the other races. And his hatred towards Luke is not really because of what Luke has done or what humans have done, because Luke never met a human before, so everything that other species have done, he's putting all that on Luke as well. He thinks that all the other species are in one category, and his kind, the canines, are a whole different category, as if they could do no wrong. He thinks his kind is honorable and brave, despite the fact that there's good and bad in all species. So, I like that part at the end where Rune apparently doesn't seem to miss his his right hand, because that's the one that he harmed Luke with when they first met. And that part where they just sat there by themselves at the very end and just enjoyed their company and talked about their past when they first met, that was very nice. And they went on to spar a while longer with Luke's new sword. So this May afternoon scene ended very well. So next time we'll begin the bath scene for Rune. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.